Hello, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey. It's Monday, March 4th. Is that right? That is so hard to believe that it's March. I don't know how that happened, but it did. I just realized I didn't have my paper out here. That's nothing new for me to forget what I'm doing half the time. And but we can get started now. I'm going to use this stamp set called Stippled Roses today. Now, I think I shared a card with that Saturday, and I colored it with blends. But we're going to make this one much easier with no coloring because this stamp is so pretty, you don't really need to color with it. So we're going to do that, and then I promised an easy peasy fun fold that's kind of new. So we're going to start with that part first. It's new to me, that's all I can say. And I don't know if it has a name or not, but last week I was trying to do this fun fold called Seagull, I think is what it's called, a seagull fold. If you could see my trash can, I must have started over 5 times, couldn't get it to work, finally just decided I would never be making a seagull card. And then yesterday I saw this card that is very similar, but so much easier, and it gives that same illusion. So that's what we're going to do. So the thing we're going to start with is we have an 8 by 5.5 piece of cardstock. So you have to cut a 1/2 inch off. So it'll be 8 by 5.5. And then you're going to score it at 1 7/8 and 3 3/4. And then you'll turn it around and score it at 1 7/8 and 3 3/4. So now you have this center piece here, and then all your other folds. Now we'll put that to the side for a minute because now we're ready to start creating. I decided that I wanted this card to be kind of elegant and maybe a little over the top. Not something I do very often, but that's what we're doing today. So I'm not using DSP on this card. I'm just going to use the pretty Peacock. So it'll be tone on tone. But to give it a little bit of pop, I'm going to just add some ink with a blending brush. So let me open this up. This is scrap paper from something else. And we can add some ink to this. Let's find my blending brush. I just started, Karen, so that's fine. I'm glad you're here. So, like I said, I want this a little over the top because this fun fold's so easy. We can spend more time on creating a fun card that I think will be stunning. So, we're just going to add some ink. Can you see how just adding it gives it a little more texture? You don't really want to cover the whole piece of cardstock. You just want to add some highlights to it. So it'll look kind of distressed because we're going to run it through the Big Shot with the distressed tile embossing folder. Looks like a thumbprint. Oh, I meant to wash my hands. I've been playing with ink all morning. And, well, my hands are clean, but I was going to see if I could scrub that ink. But that's all right. I just added some more. So let's get our embossing folder. We might add a little more ink in a minute. Well, I don't know where the embossing, oh, here it is on my desk. Hello. This is called Distress Tile. They're kind of little medallions, and I don't know, we can run 2 through at the same time. And then we'll run 2 more. Isn't that a pretty embossing folder? Now we'll run 2 more here. Oh, well, Kim, let me tell you, for these on the sides, I should have said that. They're 1 5/8 by 5. So 1 5/8 wide by 5. I will put it on the notes under this video, so you don't have to worry about writing it down. Now, you could use DSP, so that's not an issue. But I just wanted this a little different. And I think I might add a little more. Here, we'll see. Just to bring out that embossing. Okay. Now this is where we're going to make a mess. That's something I'm very good at, isn't it? So first thing I have is a little bowl that I added a little water and squirted a bunch of Tombow in there. You don't want it too watery, but you want to be able to flick it. And now I need my paintbrush. I don't see, there it is, hiding. This is just an old worn out paintbrush from the Dollar Tree, probably. And then I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper. I could get some of that paper I wasted on Saturday trying to make a seagull card. And we're just going to flick some glue on Tombow on here. I just kind of found it was easier to do it with the edge of the paper. I tried using another paintbrush to tap it, but it didn't want to cooperate. It doesn't matter where that goes, because you want it, you just want it splattered randomly. I think we could put a little more there. But that's okay. Okay, so I think every sheet's got some Tombow on it. Now I'm going to put these in my embossing folder tray. I didn't do this when I started this morning, but I think this will help with my cleanup a little bit. I'll have to put that one to the side. I guess what we're going to use we're going to use our gold leafing, gilded leafing. I have not used that in months and months. And we're just going to dump it on there. That's why I thought this would be easier to put it in the embossing, in the tray. Now where that glue is, we want to make sure and push down so that the gold leaf sticks. This looks like a big huge mess, doesn't it? But it won't be when we're done. Now I think we can do our fourth one here. See how that's picking, the glue is sticking there. The hard thing is this has static. It gets everywhere. I wish you could use a cling free or something to get that static off. And now I need another paintbrush, another Dollar Tree, and we're just going to brush all this extra off. So now, do you see how pretty that is, what's left behind? Just looks like a little bit of gold splattered on your card. And I don't brush real hard, because you can just go back now and press that down and it's going to stay. Can you see how elegant? I have not done anything this really fancy in a long time, but isn't that pretty? And so each piece will be different. We'll push that extra down in a minute. This even wants to stick to the paintbrush. Have you used the gold leafing before? It's so pretty. And another way to use it is you can make gold stripes, kind of, by using your tearing tape. And that will adhere the gold leafing to your cardstock. But I don't want anything very with straight lines. I just wanted random splatters. Don't let your cat, if you have a cat, keep them out of the room. They'll get this all over them, and then you'll have it all over your house. Or a toddler. Okay, so the majority of it is now in our tray. And we can push this down. It is pretty, isn't it, Kim? I love it. Now we push this one down. Boy, you know, somebody will get this and think they're, I'm sure that's real gold, don't you think so? Now, one other thing we're going to do is distress this a little bit. Because this has been embossed, you want to be careful because it will kind of tear the paper. But I want the edges a little frayed, as I'm using the edge of my scissors. Now, if you have one of those distressing tools, that will work fine too. But I just use my scissors. Or you can use a really rough fingernail file. one of those that has the foam in it and you use the rough side. It will help distress the edge. I don't know if you can see the difference, but it does kind of give this a little antique look. You know, 20 years ago, maybe, about 15 years ago, that distressed look was super popular, using all the browns and tans and giving things an antique look. But it doesn't have to. It can be any color you want. I never did much of that. I always thought it made your cards look dirty. But this one, you're using pretty Peacock, so it's not dirty looking. Karen, if you're doing your junk journals, this technique with the gold leafing would be great for a junk journal. If you're doing a botanical, and then add a little gold to it. You see, you got to be careful there, but it's okay. All right, now we're ready to do something with our card base. And I think I will put this away. We don't need it anymore. And now we have our card base. This is going to be the inside. And this is where the piece of paper I forgot. I need to cut some paper for my sentiments there, but I'll do that in just a minute. So we're going to take one of these, or two, actually, and we're going to adhere them to the card. And if you want yours centered, that is certainly up to you. But I'm doing mine a little different. I'm letting it be off center. So it's lined up with this 3 3/4 crease, but it's not lined up on this side. But, you know, if you wanted it centered, just move it over. That's a preference. But on this one, that's what I'm doing. Two different demonstrators inspired me with this card. And the fun fold was by Jeannie Stark. And then the colors were by one of our artisan design team members. And honestly, I can't pronounce her name. But I'll put that in my comments. So now we're going to put this on what appears to be the back side of your card. But it's going to be actually the back and the front. Let's hope that I'm doing this right. Well, I love Wink Stella too. Actually, I meant to put some on here to get it even sparklier. But I can add that later. All right, so there's our card, but we need, now we're going to do some stamping. I need my little piece for the sentiments, and so that has to be 1 5/8 by 5. when I pulled my sentiments here, I did not realize they were I mean, I should have realized that these were kind of small. So I might have to find some different sentiments. That looks, they don't look like they match. This one might have gotten, no, that's right. This one's wrong. So we'll put these to the side now. Get one more piece of cardstock. Ooh, we got two. And now we're ready to do some stamping. We're going to do our roses. They're going to be beautiful without having to color them. Since I wanted rich colors, I'm going to go with cherry cobbler. This is one of those kind of heavier stamps, so I like to ink it up this way. Sometimes my hands get tired, or I drop things. That's part of the problem. Now, well, I stamp that. I love sparkly too. I wish I had sparkly clothes. Go to Las Vegas and buy some. Aren't those roses beautiful? Now we're going to clean this. Get the red off of there. And since we're using Pretty Peacock, we're going to ink our leaves up with Pretty Peacock. I think that's fine. It's kind of a greenish blue color. That's even pretty like that. And I don't think there's peacock roses around, but you never know. Now we can run this through the cut and emboss machine. We'll line that up. The best we can. We'll hold that down. There we go. Okay, so we had to switch plates now. And that should come out nicely. This isn't very detailed, so. There we go. So now we need our roses. We're just going to fussy cut them. And it's not too hard. We're going to cut all the leaves off. And we'll be left with our roses. And remember, it's easier to cut if you move your paper and not your scissors. Now, this one's a little trickier because it's got that little bit of base at the rose bud. So we'll have to go in there and snip that out. I hope everybody had a good weekend. We got in a nice long walk yesterday. Today it's chillier though. I don't know about you guys, but we have not had winter yet. Either we're not going to have winter or it's going to hit in a couple weeks. And I shouldn't complain, but I do love snow. But I guess if we don't get any this year, that'd be okay. I don't like it when it's icy, but a little bit of snow is always fun. And I guess that means we'll have a drought going too. So if we don't get any snow. I don't even know how the ski resorts, well, they make snow, don't they? I guess that's how they've managed to still get people skiing. This one's the trickiest one. Let's see, maybe, wish meant I was left-handed, just for that little bit. There we go. Now we can put our roses on top of our leaves, hide the green roses, and it'll work out fine. Now we do have a little bit of the little stem part on the buds there, so we're just going to color that with a blending pen. So they don't look strange. You could use your watercolor pencils or a blending pen, or your marvelous markers. We have so many choices with coloring. Okay, I'm going to put those on with dimensionals. Put this on. And let's see, I thought I got I did get a new pack sheet. This card does use a lot of dimensionals. It doesn't have to, but because you could certainly glue it straight down, but you know, I like dimensionals, so that's also your preference. That'll do that, and now tomorrow there will be I think 23 new things in the store. So you want to make sure and check early in the morning. We have new stamp sets and dies, new bling, and then 2 new kits. I think that's it. So I'm not sure, we haven't seen the kits, but the new stamp sets are very pretty. I liked all of them. Now, I don't like the way that those are showing behind there, so we just chop that off. It won't show. There we go. Just that little bit. Isn't that pretty? Of course, we need some Wink of Stella on there, don't we? I'm just going to splatter it. I like to use just the inside of the cap to flick the Wink of Stella. Let's see if that looks like it got enough on there. Oh, pretty, pretty. It looks like dewdrops on those roses. So, and I think there's still some peeking out on this side, so maybe I didn't line that up super great. But that's what scissors are for. Here we go. That looks pretty. Now, to make this go on the front of our card, I have one of these detail dies, and we're going to put this on there. Now, of course, we need some more gold. So I pulled out some distressed gold paper, and we'll cut some leaves. And I do believe I can do 2 at one time. That will work just fine. We'll run that through the cut and emboss machine. This distressed gold paper is pretty thin, so you do need to be careful when you're taking it out of the die, because it'll rip. Which, you're not going to use all of this, so if the stem breaks, that's probably okay. See if we can get that. Get started. There we go. There's one. There we go. That's pretty. And now we need the second one. Once we can get it started, then it should peel up. And there's our second one. A little more gold coming your way. So I took this gold braid. Remember, you know my little trick. You pull the nylon out of the inside, and then you can get these smaller pieces of gold thread. And we're just going to get 2 of those. We're going to put them behind our flower. We'll just kind of bunch these up. You want it real sketchy, messy. It's curly. I think that one can come. There we go. Of course, a few more dimensionals here. This time we don't need quite so many. Just enough to hold it to our card base there. Well, our frame. See how that gold just sneaks out there? Now we'll put our leaves. I am going to snip this off. So, and this one. We'll put this on with Jumbo. This would be nice if you have one of those fine tip glue pens, which I don't have. We can't have everything, can we? Okay, now we need a sentiment. And this is going to be an anniversary card. Let's see, I pulled out, this is from Celebrating You, and it says lots of love. It's pretty crooked on there, but we're going to die cut it, so it'll be okay. And I'm going to use, I'm going to use black. I could use Pretty Peacock, but I think black will show a little stronger. I was thinking this could be, oh good, I'm glad you're learning something, Kim. This could be my husband's anniversary card, so he'll forget that he watched this video. When you do flowers like this, it gives them that layered look, but you're not having to work so hard. Does that make sense? Just stamp it like you could do garden green and real red, or it needs to be a bold color. Calypso coral and greeny apple green would work perfect. One of the brighter colors. The regals or the bolds. You know, I love Coastal Cabana, but I'm not so sure that they're blue roses. But hey, you know, it's your card. You can do whatever makes you happy. Now this fold, you know, doesn't have to be fancy like this. It could be done with DSP and a fun stamp set like the hot air balloons. I just wanted something pretty blinged up today. Now we're almost done. Remember I told you that I pulled out these sentiments, and I don't think they'll fit on here. So let's say happy anniversary. So I'm going to do a rose. Let's see, I think I have one here. Yeah, I think I'll just do one of the roses and color the leaves. This is a different stamp. Oh, I don't know that I like that. I don't. So we'll do it the other way, won't we? We'll do it with two. I'll stamp a red one and then the green one. Oh, here it is. I could put one on each side, but I don't think I will. Clean that off. And we want our leaves to look the same. I didn't really like that colored, and if I had done it with a pencil, maybe. I actually love that rose in Pretty Peacock. I think that's pretty cool. So we can cut this with our die. I'm glad you're learning things, Kim. If you're new to stamping, that's the best way, is to watch lots of videos from lots of different people. Everybody has different ways of doing things, and you learn new tricks. Now, I think we can cut this with the die cut too, and then all we have to do is cut the leaves off. Now we'll at least have one decorated panel. The other one I'll just leave. I won't adhere it until I'm sure I find something I want to, a sentiment I want to put on there. Now I won't put the dimensionals on this because the card's thick enough. We'll just glue that right on there. Okay, this is going to go here. And I think I'll line it up that way. Could do that one a little wider, couldn't I? We'll put our little rose down at the bottom. You can even hang off the edge. I think that's pretty. Okay, we're almost done. couple more dimensionals and we'll be ready. So remember, we've got this little ridge here. That's where our image is going to go. Well, let me make a pencil mark. The top and the bottom. You can adhere this with Tombow, but we're going to put dimensionals there. We're just going to put them down that little ridge. I'd have a contest. How many dimensionals did we use today? A bazillion. I can go back and count. Now, this piece, when I figure out what sentiment I'm going to put, will go right there. But we're going to wait. And now we'll just eyeball that, try to go for the middle. And I think it'll work. Okay, so now this is what you're going to do. You're going to fold your card up. And here's your card. Isn't that pretty? So when someone gets this and they're in the mail, they'll open it this way and it can stand up. How's that for you? I love the way it came out. And it's certainly better than those seagull cards that I couldn't figure out. Maybe one day I'll learn the seagull card, but I like this one. It's the same kind of image or fold, but a little different. Because I did not use DSP, I just ran my envelope through the embossing folder, just the flap, so it matches the card. And now I've got a real pretty anniversary card. Or it could be a wedding card. It could be anything, depending on but I'm going to let it be an anniversary card. Thanks for joining me today. This was a little longer than usual, but it's still pretty. Thanks, Tricia. I appreciate you popping in today. I will post the measurements for you and the picture in a few minutes. See you next week. Bye.